Okay, so excuse the state of the office around me. Just in the process of converting one of the spare bedrooms into an office space, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, it's just, I think I'll do like a bit of a video about how I get the office space ready. I know how I want it to look in my mind. At the moment, you can see there's loads of baby toys and stuff because, you know, kids come in this room as well from time to time. But yeah, so that's that. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about for this video is I want to take you on the journey of creating my product range. And, you know, there's going to be a whole playlist associated with this because I just think it's really interesting to see how people make their product ranges, and particularly their physical products. And that's one thing that when I've been creating this range is I've spent so much time watching videos on YouTube from all types of creators to see how they created their product ranges. And, you know, I found the information really, really useful. So hopefully other people will find this useful as well. But for the purpose of this particular video, I want to talk about trademarking the brand name that I've come up with, which I'm not going to share just yet. Might share it later on in the video. We'll see how that comes up. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about the whole thing of creating a trademark and whether or not it's relevant. So later on today, in about half an hour actually, I have got a one-to-one discovery call meeting with a trademark expert in the UK. So I'm in Jersey. We've got slightly different processes, but ultimately to register a trademark in Jersey, we have to have a trademark registered in the UK first. So I'm starting with that point. I'm talking to a legal advisor who is, she's trained, qualified. She deals with trademarks basically. So I'm going to have a discovery call with her as to just to kind of like chat and figure out whether or not trademarking the brand title that I've come up with is worthwhile, if it's just a bit of a waste of time, if it's got any relevance to do it really, because I've spoken to some people and I find that people either sit in one of two camps. They're either like, yeah, trademark, it's, you want to trademark your brand name, and then I've kind of got the other group of people who are like, it's just a waste of time, there's no real point. So I've already done searches very, very briefly on the Gov.uk website. There's currently no trademark or like trademarks in place with the name that I want to trademark or the name that I'm thinking of trademarking, because it's definitely the brand name, because I've already got stuff in production, which is really exciting, but that'll be another video. So yeah, it's just whether or not this particular name, if it's worth trademarking. So I'm going to have that chat with her in about half an hour, and then I will jump back on and let you know how it went. And then, yeah, I'll take you through the whole process of the trademark in this video, or maybe I'll do it as a series of videos. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll jump back on in a little bit after I've had that conversation with her and let you know what kind of like what we discussed and how that went down, and it might help you if you're deciding to trademark something. So yeah, chat to you in a little bit. So update, we have just spoken to the trademark attorney. Trademark attorney, is that trademark solicitor? Trademark lawyer? I don't know, I think I'm just saying words and names at this point, but I spoke to the lawyer who specialises in trademarks in the UK and those processes and applications and stuff, and oh my god, it is an absolute minefield, which is absolutely insane. But she was explaining some really, really valid points to me, that basically I don't have to have a trademark. The name that I've got, there's no need. She didn't even ask what it is, and I'm not going to put it in the video just yet. But basically, there's no legal need for me to trademark the name. But she raised the very valid point that what could happen is, for the product that or product range which I'm going to be releasing, what I run the risk of is creating that range, paying for it all, and then just go through advertising and stuff. And then if somebody's already got the intellectual property, a trademark for that particular name or brand, then they could actually stop me from selling my product, essentially, which would be awful. I mean, could you imagine that? So she gave me all these different tips and advice and explained the whole trademark process, which is not easy. It's not I say it's not easy. It is. It seems more arduous than anything else. I think it's more just lots of form filling and time and waiting and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to sit with it all for a little bit and see what I think of it all. And, you know, like she said, you know, at the end of the day, there's no legal reason to register the name. It could be that I just decide to not and get my product in and sell it and just kind of hope. And then if somebody does contest it, then I can say, well, I've already been trading with that name and all that kind of thing. But then, you know, obviously there's a risk. There's just all sorts of risks. And obviously what I'm saying is I'm just condensing the conversation that she and I had. So please do not take this video as legal advice or trademark advice or anything like that, because, you know, as I said, I'm just kind of relaying my own experience here. It's not to give you advice to go and get a trademark or how to get a trademark at all. I'm just, you know, doing this for informational purposes and stuff, just in case you're curious of getting a trademark in your business. But yeah, so it's put a lot of thought in my head. And what I've now done is I've gone over to the IPO website, so Gov UK website, and just looking at all the different information. She was so good about it, bless her. She goes, you know, you can pay our service to do it for you. You can pay another service if you don't feel like we're a good fit. And I always love it when people are really honest like that, because, you know, as opposed to like, sell, you have to use my service. We're having this discovery call, so you kind of owe me. I hate it when people are like that. So it was really nice that she was like, you know, you could do this. She goes, or equally, you could just do it yourself. You know, I've given you the information and you could do it yourself. It's how it's going to fit with you, your brand, you as personality, whether or not you want to do it, all this kind of thing. So it was an amazing, amazing conversation. So just, you know, back on the IPO website, so the intellectual property website, having a little look around at what's on there. And I think going for a trademark is something that I'm going to do, because I think it's going to be really worthwhile for the brand long term. I've got really big ideas, and no, I'm not trademarking my name before anybody thinks that. I'd love to know if I'm the only Verity song on in the world. I'm the only one on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and Instagram. But at the same time, there are like, what, 7 billion people in the world. So I'm not going to make the claim that I'm the only Verity song on, because that would be incredibly big-headed. But I'd love to know if I were. But either way, I'm not trademarking my name. I'm trademarking like this actual like name that I've got for the product suite that I'm going to be coming out with. So that's really, really exciting. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see whether or not we can trademark it and how that goes along. So yeah, just looking at all the IPO information really, and just seeing kind of like how it goes. If anyone's gone through the trademark process, particularly in the UK, drop comments below. I would absolutely love to know about your journey, how you found it, because what happens is you submit your what you want to trademark. If it's like, you know, a name, a logo, because you can trademark like actual logos, pictures, what have you. You can you know, trademark a sound, all these different things. And then what they do is they go through a search, make sure there's nothing that kind of conflicts with that. And then if they're happy that there's nothing conflicting, then there's like this 2-month process whereby people can object. You know, if they're trading with a similar name, or something where like worried that there's going to be a confusion, for example. So 2 months could be quite a long period of time. But at the same time, you know, that could be the beginning of 2023. But then I'm also thinking, do you know what? If I get something trademarked, then I know that it's my brand, and I know that nobody else can use that phrase, whatever, which would be, you know, which would be really good, I think. Or if they do use it, I can contest it, like, you know, all sorts of things. So I think that would be really, really useful from a brand protection side of things. So yeah, it's and luckily at the moment I've looked on the IPO register, and nobody has got the trademark in the phrase that I want. So fingers crossed, you know, we can go ahead with it. So I'm going to sit with it for a little while, because, you know, you don't want to make anything too hasty business decisions. She says I always make business decisions in haste, but, you know, I've just got to do what feels right, I think. So yeah, I will check in with you in a little bit and update this video as we go. Okay, so I did it. I went and had a filed a trademark, which is exciting. It was actually a way simpler process than I thought. But basically, you know, I just kind of sat with the information a little bit that I was, you know, I said I got previously in this video, in the previous clip. And, you know, I was on the IPO website and I was like, do you know what, I'm just gonna like see what the form is like, and then I just kept clicking and clicking, and before I know it they were like, do you want to just submit and pay? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So it was a little, I think it was like either 170 or 175, I can't remember, I think 170 to apply for a trademark, but mine was a little bit more expensive because what you do when you go through and like you enter the information, it then asks you what classes you want to have you know, like kind of what products essentially you want your trademark to sit with. So the products that I'm looking at, it sits across two categories or classes as they call it. So because I selected more than one class, my final fee did go up a little bit for the application, but it's exciting. So yeah, I'm just looking on my computer screen now. I have got like a little certificate, which is exciting, isn't it? You go to work and you get a certificate. So yeah, just looking at this here. Oh, it won't open now. And I'm not going to show you right now. Sorry, I'm not going to show you my screen because like I said, I'm still like, it's still all in the pipeline and stuff, but I have got a nice little certificate to say that I filled in a form and gave the IPO some money. Isn't that exciting? So yeah, and it tells me what the name of the trademark is that I want to trademark, essentially. What is my list of goods and services? So like it's got like a little table and it tells me the classes that I want to, or categories. I think it's better to categories when I call it classes. But yeah, you know, the classes that I want to trademark in, what the goods and services are within those classes that I want to trademark in, and then it tells me the type of trademark. So as I said before, is it like, you know, picture, words, is it a noise, whatever. And if you're wondering about noise, I'm pretty sure, don't taste this as the God's honest truth, but I'm pretty sure, you know, those of you in the UK that compare the market adverts, you know, the little, I can't even do it, but that little noise that the meerkat makes at the end, I'm pretty sure that is actually a trademarked sound. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then it's got my address and like my declaration at the bottom. So I think it's quite nice I've got a certificate to say that. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, and I got a little email to come with it. I say a little email. It's obviously an official email. It comes from the government. Just to say your payment's been cleared. Certified copy of your trademark application is attached. So what happens next? And I'm going to read this verbatim for you. So if you're thinking of this, then you get a better idea of the process. So what happens next? We will examine your trademark and send you an email to confirm if your application was successful or if we found issues that you will need to fix. We are currently experiencing a high demand in trademark applications, and then they give you a website link if you want to see what the current timeframes are like, and then it just gives you some stuff about misleading invoices and if there's like suspicious companies. So if we go to the link that they have supplied, we go to the IPO website, gov.uk, register a trademark, and it says the Intellectual Property Office IPO will examine your application and send you an examination report, and the quotes are because they put quotes around it, within 2 to 3 weeks. The report tells you if there are problems with your application known as objections. That may mean that that may mean you would not be able to register your trademark. You have got 2 months to resolve any objections, and there's a link if you want to find out about that. The IPO, so the Intellectual Property Office, the IPO, will also search for existing trademarks that are the same as or similar to yours. If they find any, they'll contact both you and the registered holders. If there are no objections or you resolve them, your application will be published in the Trademarks Journal for 2 months. Anyone may oppose your application during this time. So yeah, I've basically got a 2 to 3 week wait now where they will send me an examination report and say either, yeah, let's go ahead, or nope, there's a problem with this, you're going to need to solve. And then assuming, well, if there's a problem, I'll have 2 months to resolve that problem, or this is how I'm reading it anyway. And then if there's no problems, and from the IPO's point of view, they can go ahead, then they will put it in this journal where anyone can see it for 2 months, and they have got, and anyone else who has got access to that journal, who, you know, reads it, I suppose, or who gets notified about it, can oppose that application during that time. They can only do it within the 2 months. So if someone opposes your application, the IPO will tell you if someone opposes your application. If your application is opposed, you will not be able to register your trademark in the relevant classes or terms until you've solved the issue. So my understanding is that you can, and again, this is not legal advice, this is just my understanding, is that you can have as the same or incredibly similar trademark to somebody else, as long as it's in different classes, so different categories. So I was going to use the example of Microsoft then, but that's probably like an absolutely terrible example. But like basically you could have something, a name of something, like I'm just looking at my microphone now and it's called a Blue Yeti. So I'm, you know, the word Yeti, for example, if you have like a product range of makeup, you could have it in there, but then somebody else could use, if you've only registered it with that category, then somebody else could use it for a different product in a different category. I believe that's how it works, but I could have got that a little bit wrong. Like I said, not legal advice, really need to stress that. But yeah, so it's really exciting. So then it goes on to say, if somebody opposes, you can either talk to the person about the making the opposition, withdraw your application, defend your application legally, and you will have to pay legal costs. Now, obviously, if somebody opposes my application, I will probably either talk to them or have a rethink and withdraw it. I don't think I'm going to go down the route of paying legal costs unless, you know, I go and win the Christmas lottery and then some, who knows. And then it gives you a link for previous trademark decisions. So that's kind of exciting, I feel. Like, I don't know, the trademarking might not be relevant to some people, but I don't know, it feels relevant to me and to my brand, and it feels like it's an aligned thing to do for my brand as well. So the trademark is in, which is very exciting, and yeah, it's just watch this space, and I'll update you in 2 to 3 weeks time. Hopefully I'll get my examination report back 2 to 3 weeks time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I only do it on one hand. I genuinely believe that crossing fingers on both hands at the same time is bad luck, but you know, whatever. So fingers crossed, the application will come back with no objections, and then we can move into the 2-month phase of it being published in, hopefully it will come back with no problems, so then it can be put in the Trademarks Journal for 2 months for if anyone wants to object. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. So I was supposed to film this update a few days ago, actually about a week ago now, but one thing and another just didn't happen. But I wanted to update you on the trademark application because I put that in 2 weeks ago now, and honestly it only took a week. So it was the 12th of October, they wrote back to me, the IPO, the Intellectual Property Office for the UK government, wrote back to me with my examination and acceptance of trademark application for publication, which is really exciting. So yeah, after not really knowing exactly how long it would take, because after Brexit, if you go on the IPO website, after Brexit, it does say that there could be a really prolonged wait period, just because they are having to deal with so many extra trademark applications since, you know, the whole UK exit from the EU. Let's not talk about that, but anyway, so yeah, I got my letter through, so I'll just go through it really quickly. They've confirmed, so I have examined your application under the Trademarks Act 1994 and have searched the relevant trademark registers. Your application appears to meet the requirements. Yay, so basically no one has my trademark at the moment, or anything similar to the trademark, or it's not offensive or anything like that. The details of your application will now be published in our online trademarks journal for opposition purposes. As soon as your trademark is published, we will send you confirmation of the publication details. Yay! After the mark has been published, there is a 2-month opposition period in which anybody may oppose its registration. If someone gives notice that they are considering an opposition, this period will be extended to 3 months. That's potentially up to 5 months. If we receive any opposition of the opposition period is extended, we will write and tell you. If nobody opposes the mark, we will register it 2 weeks after the opposition period ends and send you the registration certificate by email. So that's really exciting. So, and then I've signed up for e-alerts and all that kind of thing, but basically now the trademark has been put in the Trademarks Journal, so that's going to be there for 2 months, just under 2 months now, 7 weeks, just because, like I said, this letter actually came out last week. And then assuming that there are no oppositions, then yeah, I will have a trademark 2 weeks after that. So we're the 19th of October. Oh, it'll be a Christmas present really, won't it? Assuming that nobody opposes it, which I'm hoping nobody will, because like I said, I did do a thorough check myself. I went through the trademarks database myself, and then obviously they've said as well that they haven't come up with anything that, you know, they're concerned about. And then when I researched the statistics as well, it said that only, the information that I found anyway, was that only around 5%
of trademark applications get opposed. So fingers crossed, we're heading in the right direction. I'm really excited, and as I said, hopefully this could be almost like a Christmas present. So yeah, updated you on that, and I'll update you when I hear more in a couple of months. I'm really eager to know though, have you gone through the trademark process yourself? Are you currently going through the trademark process like me? Or are you thinking about registering a trademark? I'd love it if you could let me know in the comments below, because it'd be great to go through this journey together. And if you are going through the process, tell me, when does your 2 months end? When are you hoping to find out? Or if you're not in the UK, if you're somewhere else and you have different time spans for your trademark applications, let me know as well where you're up to. It'd be great to hear where you're at, and yeah, we'll find out. Speak soon.
Hello. Oh gosh, I can't even talk. Hello everybody. It is the 5th of January, it is the new year. Super exciting, and I wanted to hop on and update you about the trademark application, because on the, flicking over here quickly to the email, on the 23rd of December, I got the trademark through. So we now own the Confident CEO as a trademark, which is so exciting. So I've got a copy of the journal here. So the Confident CEO as a as a title for planners, for stationery, digital journals, desktop planners, all sorts, in quite a few categories we got it registered in. Or quite a few different types of products, I should say. It was 2 categories, 2 classes that we got registered in, but covers loads of different products. But the Confident CEO is now a registered trademark in, let me read it quick, in Great Britain and Ireland, which is really, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, I should say, sorry. So yeah, I got it through. So I thought that there was going to be a delay in the trademark application, simply because, if, as I've said earlier in the video, you submit your application and then they put it out in the journal for the IPO, the intellectual property office, put out the, put out your application for 2 months, in which time people have got the opportunity to object to your application or raise any concerns about your application. And then after that, assuming that there are no issues or contentions raised, then your trademark gets published within, or certified, I should say, within 2 weeks. Now, I thought, because of the timings of how all this was working out, my timing for the application process coming to the end for contentions would be around Christmas week, or in line with Christmas week. So I just assumed that I would not be hearing anything until, I don't know, maybe mid-January, something like that. That was just my assumption. But 23rd of December, so just before everybody's going off for Christmas, 23rd of December, it was something like 6:30 in the afternoon, I got this letter and my certificate saying, registration certificate, dear sir or madam, owner Verity Songon, Mark, the Confident CEO, this is all publicly available now anyway, please find enclosed a trademark registration certificate for your trademark detailed above. I need to renew it every 10 years to keep it active. And then it just explains how my trademark is registered and how I can sell it and merge it, market it and mortgage it. Don't know you can mortgage a trademark, learn something new every day. So that's all included there. If I change my postal address, I need to obviously contact them. And then there's clearly a problem with scams, because there's a bit of a warning there about companies approaching you to help you register your trademark, and they're saying this is the official route of registration. So I quite like that they include the scam information. I don't like it that there's scammers out there, but I like that they include the information because it's clearly an issue. And then on the second page, I've got a certificate, which is lovely. And I've decided I'm going to have to get it, just for me, I want to get it printed out and framed and put up somewhere, just because I think it's really exciting. So yeah, I certify the shown mark below. It's got the registration number. It's effective from the date of the 5th of October, because they take it from the application date, entered onto the register on the 23rd of December 22. It's been signed off by the registrar from the IPO. And as I said, that is a trademark registry. That is in the trademark registry for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which is super, super exciting. in the name of Verity Song God, incorporated in Jersey. Yeah, just really excited. So I hope that this whole process, or this video of this process, has been useful to you, especially if you're looking at getting a trademark for your brand. I did do a review on the podcast about the whole process, why I wanted to get the trademark, and why I'm happy that I did the process. So I'll link that video below. I'll leave 2 links, one for the podcast if you want to listen to the podcast, but the second to the YouTube audiogram, so then if you wanted to watch on YouTube, then you can as well. And yeah, but overall I'm so happy that I got this trademark through. It was something that I always wanted to do it right from the offset of setting up the Confident CEO product range, because I think that it just adds this element of, I don't know, professionalism to the brand. People might disagree, but that's just a personal opinion. But the other reason is I've just seen a few people get stung through not having trademarks. So there are a couple of people who I follow on Instagram who have got their own stationery ranges. There was one girl who invested over $10,000 in stock for her new stationery line, and just as she was about to start selling, she had to pull everything because she was infringing on someone else's trademark, completely unintentionally. But she had a quote, or like her tagline, sorry, it was her tagline, that she had got printed across all of her stationery, $10,000 worth of stock of stationery, and it was infringing on another company's trademark, or trademark tagline. She could not sell any of it, and I did not want a costly $10,000 mistake like that. And actually, incidentally, just a couple of days before I got my trademark certificate through, I was on TikTok for another stationery company that I follow. You're seeing a theme, I like stationery, for another stationery owner who I follow, and her incident wasn't quite so bad. It was a load of desktop planners, I think it was, just like the tear off ones. And she again had like a little tagline, just a couple of words written at the top of hers, which again, completely unintentionally, was infringing on somebody else's copyright. And so she's had to pull those notepads. Now, that wasn't as bad in the sense that from a monetary point of view, she hadn't invested like $10,000 in those particular notepads, but it's still going to be money lost because she's now got these notepads that she can't sell, and I'm assuming she doesn't take that many notes to go through them that quickly from a personal point of view. So my point is that I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to start on a journey of creating this stationery range, the Confident CEO, have that written all over everything, and then get to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't use this name or title, because that would just be awful, I think. So yeah, I'm really pleased I did it. I would love to know, have you created a trademark for your business? Are you thinking of creating a trademark for your business? Pop it down in the comments below. I would love to hear your journey. Are you going through the trademark process at the moment? How are you finding it? Yeah, just let me know. I'd love to have that conversation with you and find out where everyone's going. But otherwise, I hope you found this video useful. If you want more videos like this, more, business information, tips and hacks and tricks and what have you, don't forget to like the video and also hit subscribe as well. Take care.